Title: When I caught my wife with her lover, he attacked me 17 times. They left me barely conscious in the bathtub. My wife laughed and took photos. I remember the sound of water first, running, constant, like time refusing to stop for me. I was on my knees when he hit me. The first strike came from behind, clean, practiced. I tasted copper before I felt pain. 17 times he drove something sharp into me. I stopped counting after 5. By 10, I understood the lesson he wanted me to learn. By 17, I understood who my wife really was. She stood in the doorway of our bathroom, phone raised, laughing, not screaming, not frozen, laughing. They left me folded into the bathtub like discarded laundry, water creeping red, my vision pulsing in and out. My wife leaned in, kissed my forehead and whispered, "You should have knocked." Then she took another photo. That was the moment I stopped being a husband. That was the moment I became patient. I loved her once. I know that because it still hurts to remember how. Sunday mornings, her bare feet on cold tiles, the way she used to trace circles on my wrist when she thought I was asleep. We built a life with shared passwords and future plans. I trusted her with everything, my name, my money, my silence. She used that trust like a weapon. The signs were there. They always are. The late gym sessions, the way she angled her phone away, a laugh that didn't belong to me anymore. I noticed, I cataloged, I told myself I was paranoid because love prefers denial over truth until truth decided to introduce itself with a blade. I didn't call the police, I didn't call an ambulance, I called my brother. My voice barely worked, my lungs burned. I whispered because I didn't want the house to hear me. "Brother," I said, tasting blood, black sight them. No bodies, no evidence, make 'em vanish. He didn't ask questions, he never does. He only said, "Stay awake." That was the last thing I remember before the ceiling dissolved. As my body healed, my mind sharpened. I replayed everything. I reviewed bank statements for my hospital bed. I listened to voicemails she left while pretending to be worried. I let her believe I was broken beyond repair. I let her believe she'd won. I hired quiet professionals, accountants, attorneys, people who don't blink when you ask for contingency plans. I gathered evidence the way monks gather scripture. Every text, every transfer, every laugh caught on cloud storage she forgot existed. I smiled at her when she visited. I thanked her for staying. I apologized for falling apart. I played the role she needed me to play. She never once suspected the man in the bathtub was gone. The first move wasn't dramatic. It never is. Assets shifted, trusts activated, a signature here, a call there. By the time she noticed something was wrong, it was already finished. Her name evaporated from everything that mattered. Accounts froze. Credit collapsed. Her lover's business partner started asking questions. Then lawyers did. Panic makes people sloppy. They tried to meet, to regroup, to hide. That's when my brother stepped in. He didn't tell me details. He never would. He only said they wouldn't be a problem anymore. Not for me, not for anyone. No headlines, no funerals, just absence. I imagined my wife screaming for the first time. It helped me sleep. She stood in the kitchen, holding her phone, shaking. Her world had reduced itself to error messages and missed calls. She looked at me like I was the last solid object in a sinking room. "What did you do?" she asked. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't smile. I simply slid my phone across the counter. She watched herself laughing in the bathroom, watched the blade flash, watched me collapse. The color drained from her face, replaced by something I'd never seen before. Fear. "They're gone," I said. "So is everything you thought you owned." She fell to her knees. She cried. She begged. She tried to touch me. I stepped back. "I survived," I told her. "You didn't." The divorce was swift, surgical. There was nothing left for her to fight over. No leverage, no allies. People disappear when consequences arrive. Sometimes I think about that night. about the man I was before the water ran red, about the husband who believed love was enough to protect him. I don't miss him. What I gained was quieter than happiness, but stronger, control, clarity, the knowledge that betrayal doesn't get the last word unless you let it. They thought I died in that bathtub. In a way, they were right. The man who walked afterward was someone else entirely.